Welcome to World of Steel, Tank Force, a Brave Tale game. This game's been on the Play Store since September 2016 and hasn't received that many updates since then. I believe most of them were just to make it functional on Android.
Let's get some action. This is plan.
I'm not going to be using the starter tanks as most YouTube videos show of this game.
What do you need?
I've been playing this game for approximately a year
In position. Orders. Unit ready.
and have been using mostly survival mode. Currently, I can play this game of the 8 of the 13 tanks available in the game I have for about 2.5 hours a day. Because this game limits you to playing with each tank every 24 hours in survival mode, and I've already completed all the mission modes, and by doing the mission modes over again, you don't make that much. There's another mode where you can actually make a fair amount of money in this game fairly quickly, and that's the world boss. That's what this video is going to be about. If you win in the world boss, you can make a fair amount of money fairly quickly. I am going to be using this tank. Not this tank.
What's the plan?
Yes, it is this tank as my companion tank. Why? Because he has a great deal of armor, can survive a lot of hits, and he's got good firepower. Why does he need a great deal of armor? Because I am going to be using a smaller tank, a lighter tank, and I'm going to use him as the forward tank. And I find the AI does a very good job in the boss mode of avoiding the shots. So the tank I'll be using is the M18 here. You can see the stats on it over to the left. It's been upgraded. It starts out with light armor, but every other characteristic is fairly good. It has good damage or firepower, has great speed, and has great steering, fantastic accuracy, and very good fire rate to start with. And I've upgraded most of these. Now, if we want to go see the upgrades of the M18, I'll have to hit the right button. Here we are here. I've got this tank 34 of the 60 possible upgrades. There's a blank space there, 2 from the left. That is for his firepower, so it's been maximally upgraded. And you'll notice way off to the left, I've also upgraded the armor quite considerably. Way off to the right, the firepower has also been upgraded quite a bit as well. And because he starts out so well, I didn't need to upgrade the other characteristics that much. Now, it cost me approximately 1.8 million of the 3.6 million you could spend getting all the upgrades for this tank to get to this point. This tank is also, this tank upgrades, and the upgrades of the companion tank I'll be showing you in just a second, are about the minimum level to consistently take on the world boss and beat it. Now, here's my companion tank, and we'll take a look at his upgrades. You can see the stats way off to the left there. If you can read the numbers on the screen if you want to. I'll leave that up just for a few seconds, and then we're going to take a look at his upgrades. Here are the upgrade levels I've attained so far with this tank. There are 47 upgrades done on this tank because its characteristics that don't start out quite as well. I've maximized his mount armor, the blank space, way off to the left. I've also maximized his accuracy, which means he can shoot through very small slots. I don't know what other function the accuracy does for him, but it does that at any rate. And you notice most everything else is upgraded quite well, with damage or firepower very high, which I'll probably want to continue to upgrade. And the fire rate. I didn't take the fire rate up too much because I find with this game, in other modes, there is quite a considerable amount of stutter because there's so much activity going on, and I think there's a random chance something going into all kinds of things, which really slows things down. So I'm going to leave it like that. So when I get my more advanced or bigger tanks who will have much slower fire rates, it may not interfere with it quite as much. Now let's go back. This is the companion tank I'll be using. Now you'll notice up in the corner, way up in the top left, it says I've reached level 50. If I touch that in the ID there, I can go into my player stats in the game. I've reached level 50. I've killed over 90,000 tanks in the game. I've played survival mode over 2,000 times. I've completed the 72 missions that are possible in the game, of which there would have been 12 bosses killed in those. And I've killed a total of almost 250 bosses, less the 12 from the 72 missions. The rest of them were the battleship in world boss mode. Now, there's a thing with this game that when you play it, as you level up, the world boss acquires more armor. Now, at level 50 here, the maximum level, turret armor for each of the 4 turrets is 3,846 presently. It starts out considerably lower than that, so you don't always need these tanks to beat the world boss, but to consistently do that, you'll need to get at least minimum these 2 tanks, and I'm pretty much close to the upgrade levels I've got. When you get the KingTiger, you're going to need to put twice as much in upgrade cost into it as you do to the larger T-34, which I've put 4.5 million or 4.6 million of upgrades worth into out of the 7.1 million. And the Tiger will be able to do the same thing with your T-34 as companion tank when you've got approximately 9 million of the 19 million upgrades you could put into that tank. So let's take a look at boss mode. I'm going to hit world boss there. Now it doesn't start right away. You'll come up with a page here because sometimes this mode isn't available. It comes up every 12 hours. You get a chance to play it twice. Okay, so when you go into here, what you want to do, you want to go in with your best tanks. And you might want to give your companion tank a tank with lots of armor, so you want your tanks highly upgraded. So when I hit start button, or the go button, we go into here. Our first move is always to back up, take a shot at the upper turret, figure out which direction your companion tank is in, and make a hightail for that end of the aircraft carrier you're going to be on with them. And do it from the far end of the deck from the battleship, which is the Bismarck, as called in many other games. Now, while you're here behind your companion tank, you're using his armor to protect you, which apparently didn't happen very long in this game, this particular round. We may not survive this one. I am in crossfire, so I'm going to take a lot of damage here. Now, the other thing you notice, once you take the turrets out at the one end of the ship, you concentrate on the upper turret at the other end. Because sometimes the Bismarck is at such a low level, the lower turret cannot hit you if you use one of the smaller tanks that doesn't stick up. Okay, I got 3 turrets, but I didn't make it. The other thing to note with that is I was hanging out in the corner. There's a reason for that. It's because your tank bumps around in various different directions and you don't know which way you're going to go, and hopefully the AI controlling the aim of the Bismarck's turret doesn't as well. Now we get 2 chances to do this, so I'm going to go in there and do this again. Hopefully this time I'll take out a Bismarck. So back up, aim at the upper turret, figure out which way your companion tank is by seeing which way the Bismarck's pointing its turrets. Hide out behind your companion tank, who should have more armor than you. Make sure you're not in the crossfire from the turrets at the other end. And take out the upper turret at the end you started working on. Then work on its lower turret at that end. Okay, our companion tank's down. Oh good, he's done some damage to at least one of the turrets at the other end. Now, I'm going to try to hide out in this corner here and bump around a bit. Trying to be unpredictable. Okay, our front armor's pretty much gone, so we're going to have to turn around here. And there we go. We did manage to take out a Bismarck, or I should say I did. Hopefully when you get a tank that's got similar capacities, you'll be able to do the same.
Let's get some action.
Okay, there are other modes in this game. There's mission mode, of which there are 6 stages, each of which has about 12 missions in it. I've managed to complete them. It took me a year to get to this point. There's also survival mode, which for this tank is not presently available. You can see it comes up. You play on a similar battlefield as you do the mission modes. It just cordons off a small section of the large battlefield for each of those. But there doesn't seem to be any online battle with this game anymore. There might have been at one point. I've never managed to get into that. That used to be on the leaderboard. Last couple times I checked, I can't even get access to the leaderboard, so I don't know if this game's too successful for Brave Tale. It didn't receive too many updates after originally being on the Play Store. I think it came up with one shortly thereafter, a few months after, where the game became quite playable, and then there might have been another upgrade and a correcting upgrade after that, and I believe that is it. It hasn't received a lot of attention over the years from Brave Tales. So I hope you enjoyed the video. There are, as I said, 4 other tanks here. And there's the Cromwell. Yeah, it was possible to get the Cromwell for a low cost. It would have cost about $1 million to completely upgrade the Cromwell, or $600,000 to upgrade the Cromwell to make it worthwhile to use the Cromwell, but I bypassed the Cromwell as well. It would only take about a month at the present rate I'm playing this game to pay for all the upgrades the Cromwell would need. So I hope that helps you a little bit out with the game. It does show some of the tanks that you usually don't see in YouTube videos about this game. So I'm going to call that a video. Hope you enjoyed it.